All right, so one of my most popular videos was about buying and flipping land. So land flipping is what I'm talking about today, and I want to do a land flipping deal review. This was a property that I bought. It was an inaccessible tract, which I don't recommend buying. I don't buy those anymore because it's kind of hard to sell. That means that it doesn't have a road that goes directly to it. You have to get it through going through another piece of land in order to get there. And an inaccessible tract in my state, you can get an easement because property owners aren't supposed to be able to stop you from getting to your land. And so you can do some paperwork and get an easement and all that kind of stuff. If you got an official easement, then you could probably sell it a lot easier, but it has more cost and work on the front end, and I don't like that. So I bought this inaccessible tract, but here's an idea of how little you need to get started in land flipping. This piece of property I have the contract here, and this is the closing documents. I offered the seller, because they just wanted to get rid of it, $50 plus closing costs, which means I paid the closing costs and I gave them $50. And so you could see, hopefully, I don't know if you could see that, I'll try to zoom in on it, but that is the purchase price, 50 bucks. And then let's see what closing costs were. Closing costs are up here, and hopefully I zoomed in on that. $547, and total closing costs came up. So this is the amount I had to put up. If you could see it, it's $597. Okay, so that's how much I bought that for, $600. And then I sold it for $1,400, almost $1,000 in profit. When I buy them, I pay for the closing costs. When I sell them, I negotiate and I try to get them to pay for the closing costs, or I try to get them to pay for part of the closing costs, half of the closing costs, whatever. Now, if I'm making a really good spread and I'm selling it quickly, let's say I buy something for $1,000 and I'm selling it for $10,000, that's a $9,000 spread. So a lot of times I'll tell them, hey, because everybody wants a deal when they call. And I've learned that if you buy something for $1,000 and it's worth $10,000 and you're selling it for $3,000, oftentimes it takes longer to sell because they call and they go, hey, what's wrong with it? Why are you only selling it for $3,000? Well, I bought it for $1,000, so I don't need to mark it up that much. I need to go look at it. You know, if it's too good of a deal, there's this thing in their mind where it's just too good to be true, so they won't buy it. So I stopped doing that. Whatever the market value is, that's what I try to sell it for. So if I'm buying it for $1,000, I'm selling it for $10,000, then a lot of times when they call, they'll say, oh, will you take $9,000 for it? Will you take $8,000 for it? So if they say, will you take $8,000 for it? I could just say, yes, I'll take $8,000. But then again, they're gonna be like, oh, what just happened? So a lot of times I'll say, I'll tell you what, I'll take $9,000, but I'll pay the closing costs, which are generally $500 to $1,000. And then you know exactly how much you have to put up because it's gonna cost you $8,000 exactly. And a lot of times I'll say, oh yeah, that sounds like a good deal, that's reasonable. And you got a deal. It's faster than a realtor can get you a deal. And then what? I made $8,000 on it. If I bought it for $1,000, I sold it for $8,000. Well, let's say closing cost me $1,000, then I made $7,000 on it, right? Something like that. Either way, it's good money for a $1,000 investment. So if you like this video, please subscribe, please like it, please share it, and please check out my next video. Check out my next video. Click on the next video. Bam.